Today we're going to talk about Ecclesiastes. Now, Ecclesiastes is my favorite book of the Bible because I deem it to be the most practical book of the Bible. Where a lot of other books in the Bible talk about wisdom in ways where you have to view it in context or you have to struggle to extrapolate it to see how it may or may not apply to your life, Ecclesiastes is very direct. What it does is it takes a direct look at the problem of life itself and the gap between what life is and what we think life ought to be. And then it gives a very practical explanation on what you should do about that. So in the book, basically the author is wrestling with the idea of why the world doesn't behave the way that he wants it to. And there's a lot of pieces to it. There's a lot of side explorations. It's a very good book. I would encourage you to read it. But in general, the takeaway is this. No matter how skillful you are, no matter how strong, how smart, how wise, how much money you have, how capable you are, there will always be something bigger than you. You won't be able to handle everything that you're up against. No matter how good you are in any or all of those areas, you will still run into things that you are poorly equipped to deal with. Now, let's say that you are extremely capable. You have all the resources, everything that you need to navigate life. Great. Your new problem is that you're going to die, and none of that's going to matter. So between being poorly equipped to live life and the fact that no matter what we do, no matter how good we get, we are still going to die, the author struggles. And so his conclusion is to say there's only so much we can do, and we need to rely on God for the rest. It's very practical advice, very easy to take away. What I find most fascinating, though, is he spends a lot of time on the topic of wisdom. So he starts off by exploring the idea of pleasure. He spends a couple paragraphs there and moves on from it very quickly. Then he explores wisdom, and he just keeps coming back to it. And I think that there's something in there. Now, it's not directly stated. I am inferring. Take it or leave it. That's up to you. But the reason that I think he keeps coming back to wisdom is this. I think that wisdom is a gift given to mankind that allows us to perceive good and bad and better and worse. And I find it very interesting that in the garden we were tempted with the knowledge of good and evil and told that it would make us be like God. The problem with the wisdom that we have inherited, whether it was given us to by God, whether it was given through the apple, doesn't matter. The problem is we are tempted into taking the place of God. We are tempted into thinking that we understand what is good and bad. Not in an observatory way, but in a descriptive way. So instead of saying, oh gosh, this thing could be good, could be bad, my wisdom leads me to think that this is a good thing, so I'm going to engage with it. My wisdom leads me to think that this is a bad thing, so I'm going to avoid it. That part of wisdom is good. That part of wisdom helps you navigate life in a way that doesn't drive you insane. The problem becomes when we say, this thing is absolutely bad. This thing is absolutely good. Then I think we step into a realm beyond what we are capable of maintaining. I think that's where God lives, because we are bound in our perspective by time. We don't get to look at the whole picture. We don't get to understand all of the variables that went into an event and all of the variables that will be fed out the other side of an event. We get to look at an event and say, do I like this thing? Do I not like this thing? And most of the time, when people call something good or bad in the wise sense of the word, they are saying, is this a thing that I like? Is this a thing that I don't like? When you say with absolute certainty that you you are stepping into the realm of God. You are saying there's nothing that God could do to redeem this in the future. There's nothing that he could do to cause it, to make a good thing, cause someone to stumble further down the road. We don't get that perspective. And so it's not that wisdom is bad, it's that the way we hold it isn't fruitful. It isn't in submission to God, it's in replacement of God. When we look at wisdom, we need to say, I think this is a good thing, I'm going to engage with it. I'm going to engage with it. But God, if I'm wrong, teach me how I'm wrong, or show me why I'm wrong. There's a humility that comes from handling wisdom the right way. You don't step into it and say, this thing, boom, absolutely bad. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's going to be a terrible thing forever. You just don't know that. And it's foolishness to think that you do. So we all just need to take a step back and say, wisdom is good. Build it, engage with it. Strength is good. Intelligence is good. Skill is good. Money is good. If you submit those things to God. And that's the point of Ecclesiastes. It's you get to enjoy the gifts that you've been given by God. You get to grow them over time. You get to engage in their development. But you don't get to replace the gift giver with the gift. You don't get to look at and say, look at how strong I am. I can handle anything. I don't need God anymore. No, God gave you your strength. Yes, he made you strong, hopefully for a purpose, hopefully something that you can actualize. But you don't get to replace him. You still need him. You are not strong enough to take on the world by yourself. You're not smart enough, you're not rich enough, you're not wise enough. You will need God at some point in your life. That's just the truth. The earlier you can accept that and say, God, I'm going to do the things that you've told me to do. I'm going to do the things that I am capable of doing. But when I reach the end of myself, or when I run into factors that I can no longer understand or control, I'm going to hand it back to you. I'm going to let you drive, because in those moments, I don't trust myself enough to handle it on my own. Even in your wisdom, you need to say to God, God, here's what I think. Here's what I'm going to do. And if I'm wrong, teach me. Teach me a better way, because your wisdom will never be absolute. You're never going to know everything. You're never going to know how all the pieces of this tapestry fit together. So stop pretending. Just stop pretending. That's it. You don't have to say, you're 60% certain when you're mostly certain. You can say, I'm 99%. Give God the 1. Fine. But you don't get to be 100% certain, because you don't have all the details. So I think that's why he focuses on wisdom so much. I think that is the temptation that mankind runs into constantly. And so I just wanted to drop that piece here. Now, next week, we're going back to the discipleship path side of things, and we're going to talk about body, which is not something I'm strong at. The mind episode, which was last week, is something I'm strong at. I very much recommend that you should go back to that episode, listen to it. It has very good advice in it. With the body episode, there wasn't a lot of content there. It's mostly walking people through setting an effective minimum standard and avoiding one that isn't strong enough, which I think has been my challenge historically with the body piece. I just don't care, so I don't educate myself on it so much. So not a lot of content in this particular episode. So next week on YouTube, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the discipleship path. Now, the discipleship path is an optional framework that I use to build my life such that it is glorifying to God. And we're going to go into all the pieces of that, how it works, why it works, the benefits of using it, etc. It's not something you need to do. If you've got a plan where you are living a life that glorifies God, great, do your plan. My plan's not any better than that. If you don't have a plan, or you think that there's no way to live your life such that it can be glorifying to God, then I would encourage you to listen to this episode, because it is important that as Christians we bring glory to God. We have to pay attention to our life. We have to take control of the pieces that we can control. Back to the Ecclesiastes. If you can do something about it, if you've been given the skills to do it, do what you know to do and say, God, here's what I know. I'm going to do it. The rest is up to you, and I'm going to pray accordingly. So we'll be talking about that next week. Hopefully you'll tune in then. And for now, just put down your phone and go live some life. Thanks, guys.